So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, sponsored by Falcon Contracting and Jam's Boxing Chat. And with me now, I've got my special guest all the way from the States in a very, very pink hat. And I'm loving the earrings, Carlette. Loving the earrings. This is Carlette Ewell.
Thank you.
How you doing, Carlette?
I am doing fabulous. I would dare not have the opportunity or give the opportunity to make any complaints.
Well, that sounds good enough to me. How's things over there? So we're currently in the car because the gym's busy. The dogs will go mad if you go indoors. So we've found our safe haven in the car.
Yes, I am in my car. I could sit on my porch, but I don't want to hold the phone either.
Bless you. Bless you. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on, and I really appreciate the time.
Thank you, and I appreciate the invite as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's get to it, shall we? What a career.
Sir.
What a career. 27 fights, 16 wins, 1 draw, and 9 knockouts. But before we go into it, how did it all start for you?
So, to make it all short as possible, I used to work in a grocery store by the name of Bilo Groceries here in Winston, on Cumminsville Road. It is now currently a thrift store. A gentleman by the name of Eddie Gregg came in the store, and we had what they call the bonus card, just like what Food Line has, the MVP cards, those cards. And he was like, he wanted to sign up for one because he didn't have one to get the discounts for the food items that he had purchased. So anyway, I went ahead, got him the bonus card application so he could complete it. And then he just kept looking at me. And at that time, I had just had my baby. And I was like, why you keep staring at me? And he said, well, you're fat. I was like, I'm fat? What do you mean I'm fat? And I was like, I just had a baby. And so I just then said, well, since I'm so fat, take me to a gym. I'm not paying no gym membership fees, and I'm not paying you for gas because you're going to come and pick me and my baby up and take us back home. So that's how it all started.
So someone literally came into a shop.
So I gave them the option of how to help me lose the weight.
That is absolute madness that someone would just come into a shop and have the audacity to tell you that you're fat. Especially you've just had a baby.
Right, I just had a baby, but they didn't know that. And the thing about it is I had no clue of who he was either. I had no clue. So he lied about his age, first of all. And then when he started introducing me to all of these famous people, and I was like, who is this and who is that? And then one of the guys said, sweetheart, let me tell you who he is and his real age. And then my mouth dropped. I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna become a world champion then. That's what I'm finna do. Because I need the money to take care of my child.
That's unbelievable, though, to be honest. Someone that's got that level of cheek to go into a store and say that to a lady of all people. But your response is amazing, because you think generally, like, if you said that to a woman here in the UK, that would have been the first right hand he would have got in the mouth. Let's be perfectly honest. So for you
and
to
that's
see
the same thing here in the USA. If a man has that much quote unquote balls to go and say that to a woman, oh yeah, you're already looking at a whole drag down fight. They don't care how tall you are, how big you are. And at that time, Eddie was 6'6", about 285. He was a big dude.
But you were quite happy to have thrown a punch at him.
I was like, look, since I'm so fat, you calling me out like that, and I just had a baby, then how about this? You, like I said, you come and take me and my son back and forth to the gym. I'm not paying you no gas money, and Also, what I'm not going to do is pay no gym membership fees. That's what we not going to do. Now, if you are in agreement with that, then let me know when I'm going to start.
So, so did he literally just kind of go, right, okay then, and he just came and picked you and your son up and he started taking you to the gym? You there, Carlette? You still with us?
There you go, because I lost
That's
both
all
of
right.
us.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm still.
So, so he all of a sudden he just literally started taking you to the gym with your son, and it just rolled on from there.
Yep, because he told me, yep, he said the next day, he said, well, he called me because we exchanged numbers. And he called me and he said, are you working today? And I said, yes. He said, what time do you get off? And I said, I'm usually off between 4 and 5 o'clock because I always, at that time, like to work the mid shift, which was like your 10 to 10 to 10 to 3, 11 to 4, or either 12 to 5. Well, that was until I got a promotion. But anyway, yeah, he was like, well, be ready at 5:30. So I was like, now I gotta hurry up, go home. Well, before I could go home, I got to get the baby from the daycare, and then I got to get not only the baby from the daycare, but now I gotta be able to get home. I don't have no boxing bag to pack, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna be ready at 5:30. Well, I was ready at 5:45. And we got to the gym at 6 o'clock, and that's when it started, the training.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Jam has jumped in and he's put big up Joel and champion Carlette. She's got double H diva vibes about her. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Thank
I'm loving
you.
it. I'm loving it. And Håkan, all the way from Sweden, has said big up Colette and
Oh,
Joel.
thank you, Sweden. Yes.
So Jam has jumped in and he's put the cheeky bastard. I'm surprised you didn't smack him there and then. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So right, let's get into it. April 2002 was your pro debut
Yes.
against Grant, which you won by TKO round 2. And what a career from there. I know we had ups and downs along the way. You know, we had wins and losses, but what you achieved was unbelievable. Absolutely
Yes.
unbelievable.
Thank you.
When you started out, did you believe that you had it in you to go to that level?
Well, let's start back from when I was street fighting. I used to be a street fighter. So this one particular fight happened at school, and it was because about a drawing, and it was in my art class, and I got beat up that day. I had never lost a fight, but I got beat up that day. And because I took the wrong way, Coach Gaines which is Big House Gaines, was somewhat like my godfather. So he called my dad because I took the wrong way. And he said, I seen your daughter coming up the back way from Skyland Intermediate School. What's going on? So I got to the house, and clothes was wet because I got thrown in the creek. And my dad said, where you been? I said, I'm just sweating real hard. And these are my adopted parents now. I told him I was sweating real hard. And he said, you sweating all down to your ankles and your pant legs is wet too? I said, yes, sir. That did not go well. Because he said, you lying. He said, Gaines done already called, done already told us the whole story. So I didn't get to eat dinner that night. So because I didn't get to eat dinner, I had to wait till the next day to eat breakfast at school. And I said, okay. So my dad had a big cowhide belt in the closet. So, they had the baby safety pins that had the little protector on it. So I safety pinned it to my pants, and I walked around with that cowhide belt on all day. Now, Mr. Gibson was the principal. And Mr. Gaddis, when we got to class, I said, Miss Gibbons said, "Why you got that belt hanging on you versus putting it on your clothes?" I said, "Cause I'm going to work afterwards, after school." And so they told me to leave early. They said, "We're gonna let you walk home early." So I walked like I was going the normal way. But then I took that shortcut coming back down through them houses. And when I tell you I went to work, I went to work. Not only did she get the cowhide belt, I stripped her shorts off. I did everything, and I went to work on that face. Her name, I ain't gonna tell y'all, because I still remember her. But that's where it all started from. But where it all still holds deep within me of why I'm so feisty still, and I don't have the give up attitude, because when I was 8 months old, my birth mother submerged me into hot water. Okay. So I was burnt pretty bad. So Forsyth Hospital couldn't do anything, so they rushed me to Duke Medical, and that's where I stayed at for a whole year, trying to survive that burn. And so I've always been angry, 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 angry. People don't try, my godparents, other people, my adopted parents, tried to get me to go to church. I went to church, but at the time I didn't understand what no God was really about. Because my question was, why God allowed this to happen to me? So just angry all the time. So when, like I said, when Eddie came along, I was like, man, are you telling me I get to beat up girls and I get to get paid and I'm not going to jail and I'm not going to get in no trouble? And Eddie was like, you are absolutely right. So going forward now, I did have 3 amateur fights, lost all 3, but the girls told me I was the toughest girls. And how I got those 3 amateur fights is Eddie said, we going. We going. I don't care, win, lose, or draw. You finna start fighting some kind of way. So then they said, well, Whit Lowry, he's dead now. He was one of the head trainers at the recreation center. So with that being said, Whit said, I don't think that amateur boxing is for her because of the style that you are teaching her.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the professional style. So
Oh, I've
look on
lost
my
you again,
phone.
Colette.
There I
There you
am.
go.
I was a director of an after school program. And Whit Lowry came down. He said, it was a Thursday. He said, you're fighting tomorrow night. And I looked and I said, but the gym ain't open. And he was like, don't worry about all of that. You're going to go and fight tomorrow because you're going to turn tough woman. So we just real quick, tough woman turned into winning that first one. Man, I was winning so many here in North Carolina. They had me trotting all over North Carolina to win. I was breaking girls' ribs. I noses. The Cherokee that was the champion for like 3 years consecutive. There we go.
That's all
Um,
right.
um, okay. Then the yeah, it was just crazy with Tough Woman. They were paying females to come out of the audience to fight me. Like I was saying, the champion that was champion Cherokee that had been the champion for 2 or 3 years consecutive, I finally beat her. And when I beat her is when they had the worlds. That was when Roy Jones was involved, Mayweather was involved. So, at that time, my uncle, when I made it to the worlds, that's when I understood how business operate in boxing and within
Yeah.
these sports. When I tell you they wanted that little pretty white girl to win with that long hair, they changed the whole route of the whole card, the event card. The second day, it was a 3-day tournament, and the second day they made sure that they knew what they were doing. Anyway, I placed second. So we were finished with Tough Woman. It wasn't nothing else to do. Roy Jones, I think I had his limo driver at that time because we were in Mississippi, Biloxi and Tunica. That was a great time for me. Um, but we came back and, Eddie begged Walter Johnson, T. Johnson III is his name. Very, very good guy. Um, he does shows out of Greensboro. So Eddie begged him, please put her on, please put her on. Well, he didn't want to put her on because he had just had a female that basically he was doing all of the promoting for and basically screwed him in the butt. So with that being said, I'm trying not to cuss because everybody know I like to cuss, honey. That's just me. That's part of my vocabulary. But but with that being said, Walter said I'm gonna give it a try again. And Eddie was like, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. He said, I don't care who you get. I promise you're going to be excited. So Walter was like, let me test her. So nobody told me nothing about fighting, how to fight no southpaw, no nothing, because everybody that I sparred was orthodox. So Walter was real good friends with Tim Witherspoon Sr. And his brothers and stuff. So I fought the sister-in-law to Tim. And that was an exhibition. That wasn't for a real fight for the record. So I didn't know nothing, and I just went in there. I just went crazy. Pugs told me afterwards, she's deceased now, transitioned on over to the rainbow. She said, good gracious, girl, I know you're going to become a champion because this was a hard fight. They didn't tell me I was coming into a lion's den. They just said they wanted me to get some work in, wanted you to get some work in before you turn pro. So they was like, it was going to be an exhibition, but it was going to be an easy exhibition. A little tap here and a little tap there.
Yeah.
She said, you don't know nothing about no tap. She said, girl, what you got in your gloves? So that was one of the questions is like, I hit so hard, what's going on? So that's when Denise Grant, my pro debut, had her entire team come over, watch me wrap my hands. Ever since then, she was like, no, she the real deal. She the real deal.
Let's be honest, looking at your career, the women's WBE light heavyweight title, the UBC Americans Cruiserweight title, the WIBA World Light Heavyweight title, the WIBC Women's International Boxing Council Light Heavyweight title, the UNBC Female Heavyweight title, and you also went for the IBO and the WBC Heavyweight titles. You are incredible. There is no doubting, Carlette, that you have got this gift. Don't get me wrong, you've been through hard times. I understand that you've held on to anger but you've channeled it. You've channeled it in the right way to become a successful woman. And you're a real credit to women's boxing and what you've achieved. Your last fight being, what was that, June 2019? So you've had such a great career. What do you say to the next lot of women that are coming through into the sport?
Well, right now you have, whether anybody likes it or not, it is what it is. Clarissa Shields and Amanda Serrano. Those two ladies are the face of boxing right now. At one point, Katie Taylor had it, but losing to Clarissa kind of eased her out of the picture. So right now, what I would say to the women that's coming up, right now, you got to make sure that you have a trustable team. That's the main thing. You got to have trust, because without trust, it's like you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, this ain't working, that ain't working. You're just not going to believe anything that they tell you, that they have to say. Nothing, none of that. So making sure you have a team. Also, trust goes both ways. They have to trust that If they ask you to go run, you're going to go run. You're going to do everything that you need to do
Yeah.
to be successful. Not only that, you need that one person that is going to be your mouthpiece. That
Mhm.
mouthpiece has to understand how the sport is going to, how it's operated, first of all, on the business side. Because with the way the things are now, with with the expensive groceries, clothing,
Yeah.
vehicles, housing, all of that, you need that mouthpiece to be able to get you funding. Funding means purses.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have somebody on the team as well that's willing to also fork out a little bit. What nobody can tell me is Eddie always was that one person that would fork out that extra. I've seen him work 24, 48 hours in a row because his thing was mental health services. So now he introduced me to mental health services. So now I'm having my own mental health agency as well now.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
I help other mental health agencies out as well with consultations. I mean, I
Hmm.
run my gym, I help my son. I'm actually his coach, his mouthpiece, everything, because he's fighting now. So, but one thing I have to understand too, that Walter has helped me to understand is that one thing you cannot do is give these fighters your heart. You have so much heart and courage that you didn't care who he allowed you to spar with. Like I've sparred with Ray Mercer on several times. I've sparred Oliver McCall. I sparred Harold Bennett. And these are guys that can punch, can
Yeah.
Hardy. I mean, these guys, and then Oliver McCall, you know, out of everybody was the hardest puncher. He didn't care. He was like, you are in a male dominated sport, and that's what we're going to do. So, I'll just give you a little bit of Oliver and I spar. It was like our first session was because I was training to go for one of those light heavyweight titles. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the WBE, I think. But I hit Oliver with a left hook. Oliver looked over at his minister. He told him, F this, and we going to work. When I tell you he went to punching, I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And Eddie was like,
Look what I've
he was
done.
just
Look
over
what I've
there
done.
chilling. We was over there like, wait, hold up. You're punching her too hard. I gotta come in and stop it. And Eddie was like, no, she fine.
Yeah, you are incredible, Colette. There is no doubt in it. And as I say, like what you've achieved and now what you'll take your son to go and do, you know, he's gonna know his mum's story. He's gonna know the journey that you've been on, the graft that you've had to get to where you need to be. And that's only just gonna feed into, what he does and how he does the right thing. And, the lessons you've learned, the mistakes you've made, you can pass those on and you can feed him that right information and give him the right turns to get to where he needs to be. And like I say, just what a human being, from someone that's had to literally fight from 8 months old or however long that went on for. Obviously that difficult time of your life where you didn't really know what was going on, to having good people around you who tried to guide you, had your best interests at heart. And like I say, the person you've become, just incredible, absolutely incredible. And
Thank you. Thank
you know,
you.
you've I've spoken to people about you, and they all speak highly of you. They all
Thank
say
you.
what a person, and you can see that. The way you handle life now, you've got the best laugh in the room. Do you know what I mean? And that goes a long way for people to know that after everything they've been through, that they can channel it in the right way and laugh about things and get other people heading in that direction. That's a real gift. So,
It is. It really is. And my uncle is Ronald McCullough, and You know, he promoted me for a little bit as well with Nayron Promotions. And when we had our gym in High Point, North Carolina, he had me spar Ronnie Copeland, which y'all know he was a kickboxing champion, world champion. So with Hits the Wall, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? Oh my gosh. What
That's all
the
right.
fuck did
You're here. You're still with us. Are you still with us? Carlette? Well, I don't know what's happened with Carlette at the moment. So we'll just see if she can make it back in. If she can't, all I will say is what a character. This lady is someone special. And yeah, what a journey she's been on through her career, through her life, and what she's going to be able to deliver to others along the way. So honestly, big shout out to her and everything she's done in her career. Follow her on her socials. She's got big plans coming up. And you know what? What a character. What an absolute character. Thank you for everyone who wrote in the comments. Carlette, I know you can hear me. So all I want to say is thank you so much for coming on. And you know what? We will have Carlette on again soon. And we'll speak to her about upcoming women's fights, especially the American cards. And we'll get her take on things. But thank you very much, everyone. Hit the subscribe button. And as I say, a big shout out to Carlette Ewell. What a character. What a fighter. And you know what? One of life's champions for the stuff that she's had to deal with in life. And yet she's come out on top through it. So until next time, people, hit the subscribe button. You've been watching Boxing Media Hub. Have some of this.